Ben Anderson went to Pakistan to see why polio still runs rampant there. This is his debrief.
Yes, this is the closest the world has ever been to eradicating polio. I mean, they've called it the last inch or the last 1% for many years now. But just a few years ago, there were thousands of new cases a year. Last year, it was just hundreds of new cases. So if they can eradicate the disease from these last few areas, then they will have finally done it. It could have happened decades ago, but they are as close as they've ever been to eradicating it, which will only be the second time in human history that an incurable disease has been eradicated from the face of the earth. There are conspiracy theories. I was in Nigeria in 2006, and this was a problem. The WHO were unable to reach some houses because they believed it was some sort of Western plot to make Muslims infertile. That's no longer the case. Nigeria is now polio-free, but in Pakistan, the conspiracy theories are still not rampant, but believed by some people. There is a belief that this has nothing to do with helping people, but it's just a plot to either infertilize Muslims or that the people giving the vaccination are collecting data or intelligence for foreign intelligence agencies. The CIA raid definitely had an effect. There was a hepatitis vaccinator was used to confirm that bin Laden was in the compound in Abbottabad. Some people said to us that it was made much worse after the bin Laden raid because the conspiracy theory was more easily believed by more people, and I think at first we were skeptical. But then vaccinators themselves told us it made their life more difficult, and a doctor said that after the bin Laden raid, the conspiracy theory, got some legs and was believed by more people, so it definitely made things worse. Before the CIA raid on the bin Laden compound, the CIA agents posing as health workers or journalists was a red line that hadn't been crossed and shouldn't be crossed. I guess US officials thought it was worth it to get bin Laden. But it definitely had effect, and I think, people said to us on the ground, there are people who have polio today who wouldn't have had polio had it not been for the bin Laden raid. The female vaccinators are in huge danger. We spoke to one woman who'd been gang raped for being a vaccinator. We spoke to one woman whose friend was shot in the face and killed, and she herself was shot 4 times, but survived. It's hard for us to understand not getting your child vaccinated because you believe it's a conspiracy. It's even harder to believe that people are willing to kill vaccinators, but that is absolutely the case in Pakistan. They thought they were doing God's work, or they thought that their work was to help children, and helping children was so important that they were willing to go out and take the risks. The women that we joined doing their work are some of the most incredible, brave women, people I've ever met. When you cover the kind of stories I cover, mostly conflict or conflict-related, you just think you're pointing to misery. With this story, it felt like not only was there a palpable solution, but the women we were going with have actually almost won. They've almost eradicated polio, and achieving something which really should be celebrated, I think, throughout the world. The expert we interviewed said that if anyone deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, it's these women, and I agree completely.